One of the things that I've really loved about High School DxD is seeing characters that I never thought would be developed actually gain a lot of character development, gain a lot of building, and change in ways that I never expected them to change. And Vali is definitely one of those characters. And I think it is also one of those characters that a lot of anime only fans think that he's going to go in a certain direction, and then once you read some of the light novels and realize just what's happening to Vali further on in the actual volumes themselves, you realize that he's actually a character that you go from hating to really loving. And that is the absolute magnificent thing about stories like this, where you go from hating something to absolutely loving them because of the character development that goes in them. And I've always enjoyed characters that have that complexity behind them, where they give you a reason to hate them. They start off in the story and they definitely start off on a negative foot, especially in High School DxD. Vali is one of those characters that has really put Issei in a bad predicament, especially at the early stages where he's being very selfish about wanting to find a rival, wanting to fight worthy opponents, and then has threatened to do horrific things to Issei's family, which has in turn led to some big confrontations. But then as time has gone on, there has been so much development that has gone in him. He has changed as a person, and him and Issei have become much closer friends. They have put their differences aside, and yes, they still have that rivalry, yes, they still want to fight each other, but on a more competitive manner, as say like a sport. They want to fight to see who's the strongest and compete in a positive manner. They don't want to kill each other, they don't want to do harm to each other's friends and family, etc., but they want to become stronger, and so they're looking for worthy opponents, and they see each other as worthy opponents, but only in a friendly competition sense. And that's one of the things I think a lot of anime only fans haven't realized, is that High School DxD was never going to end on Issei and Vali fighting to the death, unless something drastically changes in Vali's mindset, where he changes as a person and suddenly becomes absolutely wonkos. I don't see that ever being the case. But I've always enjoyed the development that goes into him. The fact that he started off as a character that we didn't particularly like, and then as time has gone on, we've learnt the backstory, we've learnt the motives, the reasons why he has strived to become who he is, why he's striving to become stronger and stronger and stronger to protect the things that he cherishes so dearly. And you wonder, what would he cherish so much? And that's where you learn a lot about his history. His father and his grandfather were not particularly nice people. They did horrific things to him. And in volume 21, we learn a lot about his mother and what his mother has sort of built for herself now that she's away from his father and the grandfather of the year award, the horrible individual that is now deceased. You realize the horrible things that those two have done to her, and now that she has built something worthy to protect for herself, he has decided to put it on himself and a responsibility to also protect those things that matter to her, because they matter to him. He wanted to see her happy and move on from the horrible things that have gone on. And that's what I love about him. He's gone from a character that you think is selfish, that is narcissistic in nature, but you realize that there are motives and there are drives. I love a good villain that has reasons and motives, but at the same time, I love a character that, as I said before, you get introduced and you start to hate, but then you realize that they're not as bad as what they seem to be. And I love those multi-layers and those surprises, those shifting changes in your perspective on a character, and he is definitely one of those. I also do love the interactions between Issei and him, and also Issei's parents with him, particularly, of course, in Volume 21, where he's kind of throwing out a bit of Issei's dirty laundry in the sense of throwing out some of his secrets and just how the parents react to that, but also the way his parents treat Vali as well, the way they forgive him and just say, you know, kids fight, kids say things that they regret. I've always enjoyed Issei's parents and how they've kind of always been very open-hearted and kind and welcoming Vali almost into the family in a sense. You know, they treat him as one of the friends, one of the family members that is kind of embedded from, you know, Rias, Akano, etc. As much as, yes, he's not that close, but I feel like the parents treat him close enough that you feel that sense of connection. At least for me, that's how I see it. And that's what I just love about him. But I'm also very intrigued to see where he goes from a character standpoint, not just from volume 21 to 22, etc. onwards, and how he grows as a character and more responsibilities that he's going to have to take on board. It is always one of those fun and intriguing things, and I just think he has definitely gained a lot of positive growth, and I look forward to seeing more of that. Not just talking from a sense of character power, but more character development and the things that mean to him. You can definitely see further on in the light novels, Vali had some deep connections to Sensei. As much as he did sort of, in a sense, not directly betray, but go against his wishes, Sensei still kind of cherished him and wanted him to grow and build upon that, and there were many things that he tried to help Vali in sort of behind the shadows, tried to help him in little ways, and I think that's where I feel like, and this is just, again, my opinion and the way I perceive it, is Sensei was always more of a father role model to Vali than anyone else would have ever been. And that is what I love about Sensei, of course, for those that are wondering, Azazel. Azazel was a character that definitely has some connections with him, and I definitely see the growth that went on between them. There were some bumpy moments, definitely things didn't go out to plan the way Azazel wanted, the way Vali wanted, but over time they've kind of sort of sanded those rough edges back and they've become a lot closer. And to me, I see Azazel being the father role model that Vali always probably wanted and probably needed, and I think that's why they had that connection. And after things that happened in volume 21, I think that was definitely a major step that Vali had to make. He had to make a lot more bigger decisions in the growth sense, maturing and taking on certain responsibilities and letting go of certain things that he didn't want to do, but now he's decided that he's going to do. I just love him as a character. I love the development that's gone into him, and I cannot praise volume 21 enough for the development that went into him. But overall, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you like about him? What were the things that stood out to you the most in the light novels and the anime as well? But I think looking from an anime perspective, I can definitely see why anime only fans would see him in a different light. And luckily now we do have an official English translation planned to come out. I will definitely make a video when it's been given a release date, but I think it's going to take a very long time before we even get up to the good juicy parts as well. That's one of the downsides. I think I worked out it was going to take 10 years before we even get to volume 25. Probably by then, High School DxD light novel series will probably be finished by then, unless the author has a lot more planned, or he takes a lot slower to kind of finish off the story. And I mean, High School DxD is going to be around for a while to come. It's not like it's going anywhere. The light novels will be continuing to come out for couple of years to come, but I don't know how long the series is going to go on for. 10 years is definitely a long time, and anything can happen in that period, and the story could be wrapped up in that period of time. But to wait that long just to get up to volume 25, it's definitely a long wait. But still, nonetheless, I'm really happy that the light novels are getting the official translation. I hope people decide to buy them, whether physically or digitally, whichever you decide on. I hope people do decide to support the official release. I definitely will be as well. I will definitely be getting a physical copy so I can, again, reread them in the physical form and, of course, enjoy the lovely art that will be in it. But overall, love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more anime content, and I will see you, beautiful nerds, in the next video.